Good morning, students. So in the previous video, we have learned the names of different parts of a flower. Today, we are going to learn about their function. So look at here. We have already learned about these names, sepal, petal. So what is their function? Sepal is usually green and found below the petal. Okay, so this pinkish one is the petal, we all know, and this greenish one is the sepal. It protects the flower parts when it is just a bud. Next one is petal. So petal is brightly colored outer part of a flower, attracts insect and birds. And look at this greenish part. This one is known as the stalk. So the whole flower is attached to the stem by the stalk. Next one is the stamen. As we know, the anther and the filament together form the stamen. It is the male reproductive part of the plant. It is composed of a long tube called the filament and has a pollen producing structure on the end. Look at this picture, this one. This one is the pollen producing structure, which is known as the what? Anther. It produces pollen grains. Alright, and this reddish part is known as the filament. And flowers have more than one stamen. Look at here, how many structures are there? So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 stamen in a flower. Next one is the carpel. So as we know, stigma, style and ovary together form the carpel. The stigma, that means the head part, the style, that elongated long part, and the ovary, that means this roundish portion, together are called the carpel. This is the female reproductive part of the flower. So the stamen is the male reproductive part and the carpel is the female reproductive part of the plant. Now stigma, the head portion at the top, it is very sticky. And the style, that means this one, the long neck-like structure that leads to the ovary. And within the ovary, there are lots of egg cells. These small structures, these are actually the egg cells. And we will learn about the pollination process. So the process of transferring of pollen from one flower to another is called the pollination process. Now look at here, insects like butterfly, honeybee and moths are attracted to the colors and the smell of the flower. When they sit on the flower, they suck the sweet nectar. Pollen grains stick to their body. They carry this pollen grain on their body, and when they visit another flower for taking the nectar, the pollen grains stuck to the body are left on the stigma of the new flower. So what happened? First of all, these pollen grains, these things are stuck with their body. Then when they fly to another flower, then what happened? Because of this stigma is a sticky portion, so those pollens, they stick to this stigma part. Alright, so that is how the pollination process occur. There are two types of pollination process. They are self-pollination and cross-pollination. In standard 6th, you will get to know about this process in details. So there are different kind of agents who help in the pollination process. They are insects, they can be bees, they can be butterflies, ants and even birds. And wind is also an agent of pollination. Fertilization process. So when the pollen grains enter the ovary through the style, here they fuse to form the seed. So the pollen grain fuse with the ovules. I have shown you the bluish small structures. They are known as ovules. So pollen fuse with the ovule to form the seeds. and this process is known as the fertilization process. Next, the ovules develop into seeds and the ovary that swells and becomes fleshy, which develops into the fruit. As the fruit ripens, the petals dry up. So what happens? The ovule forms the seed and the entire ovary forms the fruit. A fruit is then a ripened ovary. Next one is the seed. Seeds are formed in the center part of the flower or in the fruit. We have already learned. Fruits come from the flowers. Seeds come in many shapes and size. Plant grow from the seeds. Now look at this one. This is a bean. Okay, bean cut in half. So this outer portion of the bean is known as the seed coat. Okay, the outer cover. Seed coat actually protects the seed. Next one is the cotyledon. That means this part. Okay, so this part's function is to store the food for the baby plant. This one is the baby plant. Okay, or we can say this is the embryo. Okay, let's see. So this is the embryo or the baby plant, and these two halves are known as the cotyledon. And this outer part we have already learned, seed coat. The thicker outer covering which protects the seed is called the seed coat. Inside the seed there is an embryo or the baby plant. There is a hole in the seed coat which allows water to enter the seed. When we remove the seed coat, we can see there are seed leaves. These two parts. Okay. So these leaves store food for the embryo. Some seeds may have two cotyledon or some may have only one. One is the germination of a seed. The process by which seed grows into baby plant is called the germination. Baby plant is known as seedling, we all know. The conditions needed for germination are air, water and right temperature. The process takes place in the following manner. A seed is sown in the soil. It is kept moist by regular watering. The seed absorbs water from the hole on it. It starts to swell and softens. Then the seedling breaks the seed coat and comes out of the seed. Till the root grows well, the seedling obtains its food from the cotyledon. Understand? So that is the function of the cotyledon, to provide the baby plant the food. Later it obtains from the soil. After it will form the root, then it can absorb all the nutrients and the water from the soil. The seedling develops root and shoot. Now look at this picture. So this is the baby embryo. This upper portion will form the stem and the leaves, and the lower portion will form the root. Look at here. The upper portion is forming the stem and leaf, and the lower portion is forming the root. The seedling later develops leaves and branches and finally grows into a plant. Alright, after several steps and after several days, they will form a new plant. So that is how the germination process. This is all for today. Next day we will learn about the dispersal of seed and about the vegetative propagation. Till then, you have to read all the topics very carefully. Watch the video and also read your textbook. Thank you, students.